How's it going, parents and kids, teenagers, children? Welcome to this special podcast. We made this podcast for you, for kids to be listening with their parents, parents with their kids. This is called the Kids episode. Jordan, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to be speaking directly to the kids who are listening to this today.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is like a lot of the adults who listen to us, they're probably like, these are just a bunch of kids I listen to because all the time me and you are just having a great time. But this is going to be interesting because when we try to give perspective, right, and especially as we're learning from like Sean's wisdom, we are trying to pass it down from a parent's perspective. But today, we want to try to instill that in children. So if like you've had a situation where you've listened to this podcast with your kids before and they're kind of not on, it's like taking your kid to the adult church. It's like, you don't really understand what's going on, but you're here with me. They need like the kid version. So you have to speak to them at that level. So we're going to do our best to try to instill as much wisdom in our kids as possible. So this is just for you, like Sean said.
So kids, for those of you listening, whether you're 7 or 17 or somewhere in their middle, here are 5 things that kids need to know. And here's a little backstory of how this episode came to fruition. There's a mom named Lindsay Dixon. What's up, Lindsay? Lindsay and I grew up in San Diego, different high schools. We kind of like were connected through random groups and friends and youth groups. And so she is a big listener to this podcast, and she wrote to me and she said, hey, Sean, here's an idea, an episode that's geared for the kids, especially in the day and age where we're trying to minimize screen time for our kids, and we let our kids listen to podcasts, and said, this could be a great opportunity to build themselves up. It's like, here's some tips, kids. Do these things, get your parents off your back, and there's some great action steps for kids. So, Lindsay, thanks for this awesome, great idea. And hope you and your sons are going to enjoy this episode. And if you are listening to this, whether you are 7 or 17, just have patience with us, because some of the stories we're going to tell are going to be for some older, like teenagers, and some of the stories we'll tell would be for some younger kids. So we got 5 action steps for you, Jordan. I think I'm gonna have my kids listen to this.
Well, I think it's great. What's her name again? Lindsay?
Yeah.
I think she's already winning the game at parenting. Like, A, she reached out to us to tell us about this segment, so we're doing it. Thank you for that tip. But B, you already have your kids listening to podcasts. I don't know how old your kids are, but that's awesome. I don't have my kids listening to podcasts yet. I probably should, because there's so much wisdom out there in the podcast world.
One of the favorite things that Lindsay wrote me is that her and her sons like it when I scream. So my family doesn't like it when I scream because my home office here, my podcast studio is in my home. Right. So today I'm going to be screaming into the mic at least twice.
Okay.
So
just for them.
Here is 5 things. All right. So for those of you listening, for you kids listening, we care about you. We love you. We want you to be happy. We want you to be successful. We want you to have a great family.
We know how hard it is. We know how hard it is. We were kids too. I mean, we tell stories about how difficult our childhood was. So we know this is a painful path, and we want you to become an expert at it, and we've got these tips.
So when you go to school, you learn some important things sometimes. Really important things. But some of the most important life lessons you're never going to learn in school. You're going to learn those from your parents. Because your parents are your biggest and your best teachers. So we are not your parents. We are just two dads that do a podcast, but we care about you. And we hope you really listen in, and we want you to know these 5 things, 5 life lessons you've got to know. And so I want you to really soak this in, take notes, remember it, and then talk to your family, because we have some little questions we're going to ask you today. So, Jordan, I think we're ready to give them our first one. Are we ready?
All right. So are these in any particular order?
I don't think so. There's just 5.
Cool. So just 5 important things, different categories that we should just focus on personal growth.
Here it is, kids. Here's one thing you've got to become really good at, and one thing you really need to do. And if you're not good at it, that means you need to practice it. You need to learn how to calm yourself down. Let me explain.
Oh, that's a big one.
You've got to learn how to self-soothe. Okay, everybody, think of some things and say them out loud, whether you're listening to this podcast in a car driving, maybe you're on a road trip, or maybe you're in the living room, maybe you're on a walk with your family, and everyone say out loud some things that feel really good. They're really calming. They're really soothing. Maybe you're thinking
like
of
that.
hot chocolate. Maybe you're thinking about snuggling up with your parent. Maybe you're thinking about a favorite movie. What are some things that people might be thinking about?
I
Self-soothing.
went with the weather category, like a soft rain, like a nice soft rain in the distance, or a calming wind going through the wind chimes, like something that is very nice and easy. How about a sunset or a sunrise? How about a bird flying over the mountains like an eagle making a cool noise, right? So I'm like thinking more like what I enjoy calming me down is nature and quietness and calmness.
My 9-year-old, I think if you would ask her what are some things she does to calm herself down, because we're spending a lot of time with her on that, she loves doing cartwheels and handstands.
That's good. Right? Distraction, something physical, right? You can, it's like drop down and give me push-ups. It's something to just get you, out of that mindset. I think the hardest thing for my daughter, she's an 11-year-old, is stewing in whatever's making her mad for a long time. How many of us have been mad for a long time and we don't know how to get out of it? So I think you're right. Something physical immediately. It's like get outside, go for a run, go jump on the trampoline, go do cartwheels.
When you think of the word soothing, everyone think and say it out loud to your family. What are some things you think about that are soothing? You know what I think of as a pillow. Like when I cuddle up with my pillow, I feel comfy. I feel good.
Yeah.
So here is what we're talking about is that in this life, you're going to become very upset about some
100%.
things.
We
You're going to be
are.
very angry.
Maybe every day.
Maybe every day you're probably going to get very disappointed. You might feel controlled. You might feel sad. You might feel
angry at
scared.
a teacher for a grade. A teacher talked down to you. A student did something, tripped you, didn't say sorry.
Your parents say, hey, enough screen time. A kid at school is kind of messing with you, or a friend doesn't include you. These are painful things.
You get jealous because, Cindy is going to Becky's birthday party and you didn't get invited. That can be really hard.
Your parents force you to listen to a podcast.
We're so sorry.
Guys,
we're so sorry.
So
they're doing
bored.
this to you.
It's so boring.
I'm so sorry.
So here's what you got to do. You've got to learn how to be comfortable.
Snap out of it.
And snap out of it and calm yourself down.
Right.
Here is a story. There's if you're listening to this, you're probably not going to go to prison one day. You're probably not going to. All right? Yay! I'm not going to.
That's great. That's fantastic.
I'm not going to jail.
Right.
But here's something that happens. Did you know a big reason why people end up in prison or jail is because they're not good at this skill. They're not good at calming themselves down.
Right.
And then if you ask them, hey, why did you commit this crime? Why did you do this? Do you know that a lot of their answers are, I just wasn't thinking.
Right. I was in the moment.
In the moment. I have a judge who's a friend of mine, like a judge, a very powerful judge, black gown.
Right.
And he's in my membership, and I was actually asking him this question. What do you see out there? Like, why are people committing these crimes? And I was shocked that that's actually what he told me. He said the majority of people that commit crimes, they're not thinking. They didn't think it through.
Not thinking in that moment.
And I was kind of surprised by that.
And honestly, what is that? So many of us, we get riled up into something that makes us mad, and it is weird that we can't think in that moment. We just react and we get mad and we want revenge right away, right? And it's like we have to tell everything in our body to stop right there and take a second.
Here's what a lot of kids are good at, and a lot of teenagers are good at. When you're in class and you get very upset, angry, you're pretty good at calming yourself down in the classroom. Jordan, why do you think so many kids are good at that?
Maybe because they don't want to get embarrassed in front of their classmates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't want to act like a fool. They don't want to
Right.
say something, get in trouble with the teacher, or embarrass
Right.
themselves.
Of course.
And then
'Cause
they
get
come
made fun of.
home, and what do? They don't even try. You're reacting to your sibling, you're whining,
Right.
You're having a temper tantrum. You're giving your mom attitude. That's your own mother, and you're treating your mother worse than you do your teacher. You teach your teacher better than you treat your own parents.
So there's this saying, right? If like I'm a public speaker, so I'm on TV all the time. But what I do is like if I have to talk in front of a bunch of people, they say, "Oh, you should just pretend everybody's wearing their underwear." Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
let's just pretend that you're
Yeah.
the only one with clothes and everybody should be embarrassed except you and you're in your comfort setting. It's kind of a silly analogy. But what I think I hear you saying is we need to pretend all our friends, our peers are around us even when we're at home. Because what you're saying is the way we act at school is better with reactions than the way we act at home. So we almost have to pretend we're around all of our friends so we don't get embarrassed.
Well said. Also, what I'm saying is, everyone who's listening to this, you actually know how to calm yourself down. You already do it all the time.
Right.
So can you do it more at the house? And learning this is an important life skill. How, when you feel moody, when you feel hungry, when you feel cranky, how when somebody says something to you don't like, whether it be your parent, your sibling, your teacher, or a bully, how do you be there for yourself, to comfort yourself? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to say it out loud to yourself or anyone here listening to this podcast with. I want you to come up with 5 things you do that calm yourself down, that comfort yourself.
Right.
All right, let's give them 10 seconds.
Listen, I think one
Say it out loud, everybody. Say it out loud.
Yep,
just
say it out loud.
overtalk us. Go for it.
And I think if you could just do one thing, it's like your daughter, do cartwheels. If you could do one thing, go outside, jump on the trampoline. Go outside, take 10 seconds. Like immediately remove yourself from whatever situation it is and get yourself into the elements, outside the elements, and ultimately that's going to calm you down because we're going to do what you teach everybody, and that is take a second, take a breath, take a moment.
Making a weird noise right now.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing is I'm breathing, because if you can learn, kids, how to breathe, like at nighttime, if you have a hard time sleeping, do it right now. Breathe in deeply through your nose. Hold it for 2 seconds and out through your mouth. If you can learn how to do that, doctors have told us that breathing is super good and like scientific.
Yeah.
So
and it keeps you alive.
And it keeps you alive.
Keeps you alive, guys.
We got 4 more things. 4 more things for you to do. But number 1 is really important. You calm yourself down. You self-soothe yourself so you can think straight. Remember, if somebody asks you, your parents ask you, hey, what were you thinking when you did that? Or, hey, when you were yelling, when you were acting out, what were you thinking? If your answer is, I don't know, I wasn't thinking, it means you did not calm yourself down. You calm and soothe yourself. You comfort yourself so you can think straight. Jordan, 5 things every kid needs to know.
Right. And here's one more thing I want to add to that. In today's world with social media, it's so easy to hit send and post and ghost and send something. If someone responds to you and you want to chime back. But I think one of the most important tips I've ever heard is before you respond, like, you can write it out if you want, type it up. But before you hit send, close out the application, walk away.
Yes.
Come back to it later and see if you still want to send that message.
That's a good tip. All right,
9 times out of 10, you don't want to send it. 9 times out of 10, you don't want to send it.
It's so true, because you're all heated. You're emotional, right?
Correct.
All right, number 2. Take it, Jordan. 5 things every kid needs to know.
No, 2's you. 3's me, bro.
Oh, you're right. I do number 2. Okay, now, this of all the 5 things that you're going to hear today, this might be the hardest for some of you.
Yeah, this is going to be hard for me.
You ready for this?
Actually, this wasn't hard for me. I did this a lot. I was a goody good.
You got to, you maybe never heard this before. It's pretty sad that some kids have never heard what you're about to hear. Here's 5 things every kid needs to know. Your number 2 is you need to learn how to obey your parents. I'm going to say it again.
You're saying kids have never heard that term, obey your parents?
I know for a fact many kids have never been told by their own parent or by a teacher, you're supposed to obey your parents.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
They might, obviously they kind of maybe
understand
it, but
But
this
no one
is
said that.
one of the best things for you in your life as a kid, as a teenager, is to learn how to obey your parents. Let me give you some tips and tell you and try to convince you that this is very, very key. So obviously, you must obey teachers and you must obey the police. That's obvious.
Yes,
your
that's
parents have
true.
taught you that.
Yeah.
But one of the best
Obey
things
the
for
law.
your life is to learn how to obey your parents. Here's a big reason why, is that your parents love you. They're trying to keep you safe, and they're trying to make you an amazing person, an amazing kid, a wise kid.
But Sean, my parents don't understand what I'm
don't.
going through.
They
don't
don't.
know how to do my homework. They don't know what it's like to live in a world with social media.
Well said. They don't. They're not you. They're not in the 6th grade. They're not in the 5th grade. They're not juniors in high school. But
So why do I have to
this
obey them? Because
is
they are
the
giving me
way-
advice that makes no sense.
This is the way of the world. This is the way it's always been. This is the way it's supposed to be. You remember when you go to a pond and you see a family of ducks? What do you see, Jordan? When you see those duck, quack, quacks, what do you see?
Usually they're swimming in like a line, which is kind of cool. They're making loud noises. They come up to me. They beg me for bread or for food. I'm like, get away, ducks. I'm trying to fish here.
And when you see that little baby duck at the end get
Right.
separated from the group, what do you see that
Yes.
little baby duck do?
Following his parents.
Always following.
Always following.
This is the way humans are meant to be. Kids are supposed to obey and follow their parents. And if you do not listen to your parents, you've got some problems to work on. If it's hard for you to listen to your parents, you've got to work on yourself. Math is an important subject. English and writing is important subjects, but this is a more important subject, learning how you can be a good listener and be obedient to your parents. I'm giving you good advice here, kids.
It is great advice. It just seems like sometimes it can be hard to do that, right? Especially if you go back to topic number 1, how to calm myself down. Yeah. Sometimes my parents make it to where I can't calm down in that moment. They're making me so angry. My schedule's so crazy. I have so many chores. They want me to do all this stuff. I can't go play with my friends. Susie's birthday was last weekend. They didn't take me. So I understand that. But what Sean's trying to say is your life's going to be so much easier if you can just accept this stage of life. There is going to be more freedom, but you should be happy there isn't as much freedom right now. I miss being a kid, right? How many of us miss being a kid?
A lot of perks.
Adult stuff is not fun. Lawyers and work and paychecks and taxes. I don't want to do any of that.
It can be hard being a kid. It's hard listening to your parents. It's hard obeying them. It's hard trusting your parents. But this is the way it's supposed to be. You know what I love, dude? Ice cream.
Yeah.
I
That's why I
love
have it like
ice
almost
cream.
every day.
Oh my gosh, I love ice cream. But you know what? Just because something feels good doesn't mean it is good.
What do you mean by that?
Just because it might feel good, misbehaving or acting out or lying to my parents, it doesn't mean it is good. And so sometimes you got to do the right thing, even though it doesn't feel good to do it. It's hard to do good things. And following and trusting your parents is a good thing, even though it's hard to do and doesn't feel good sometimes.
That makes sense. But just to clarify, ice cream's fine. It's good for us. We can eat it every day, right? Like, I'm fine with eating ice cream every day.
I wish. Wouldn't it be
love me
great if
some
we could eat ice cream numerous times a day? Candy.
Dude, I eat ice cream sometimes 5 days a week. I'll look in the mirror. I'm like, dang, I should stop eating ice cream.
Right. It's like this is part of becoming like a great kid, a happy, healthy kid is you got to do hard things.
Yeah.
And
And here's the thing. From a parent's perspective, kiddos, if I'm talking to you, what we're trying to do is make you the best individual you can be, okay? So if we're saying, hey, can you change over the laundry? Hey, do you mind mowing the lawn? Would you mind picking up your sister from here? Can you go get the mail? It's not because we're lazy. I can guarantee you that right now. I will do all those things without you. I'm trying to do this for you so you can learn responsibility. I tried talking to my daughter the other day. She was asking me why she has to learn mean, median, and mode, right? Or this part of English where she's in middle school. And I'm like, listen, everything you are learning right now is to build you up to be a better person later. I don't know why you have to learn this right now, but I know that you need to know this so that you could be a better person later. So get through this hard time and know that it's going to get easier, and it's really not that hard. It's just making you a better person.
Everyone do this. Say out loud. Think of a TV show or a YouTube channel that you like that has, it shows kids and parents together, but the kids, they like their parents, they trust their parents, they obey their parents, they listen to their parents. Say some shows out loud.
Honestly, I don't know how many there are. Back in my childhood day, there wasn't very many. But they had some of those shows like Full House that, stuff in us old geezers watch nowadays. But what I'm seeing is, maybe the kids listening can relate to this. A lot of kids are watching YouTube. They're watching shows on YouTube. And what I'm noticing on some of these shows is sometimes the shows that I let my kids watch, the parents will be doing content with their kids. I can see father-daughter duos. I can see kids with their parents. They're going on trips. They're all doing it together, which is a lot different than what the TV shows portrayed 20 years ago.
I think it's hard to find good TV shows and movies where there's like a lot of close families. Like, for some reason, I'm thinking of The Little Mermaid right now. I don't know why. But that show is a good example of how you have the main character, Ariel, and she totally disobeys her dad. Her single dad. She has no mom, and she is defiant, and she gets herself in a ton of trouble. She gets swayed by Ursula, the sea witch or whatever, and she makes some horrible decisions. She almost loses her life. She almost dies, and she almost hurts her whole family and her sisters because she didn't obey her dad, who was trying to protect her, because oftentimes parents know things that kids and teenagers do not know. We see dangers that they don't see.
Same thing with Lion King, right? Little Simba, his dad said, don't go to the Forbidden Forest. Little Simba went to the Forbidden Forest. Then his dad had to come rescue him. His dad died because of Scar going crazy. It's terrible. It's super sad. But, Sean, we as parents can try to guide our kids as much as possible. But our kids are going to mess up. Kids, you listening, you are going to do something that is against what your parents are saying. It's not great. You're going to do it. It comes with everybody growing up. We just want you to make very smart decisions as to when you're doing that to try to figure out life on your own.
Well said. Couple closing thoughts on this point about obeying your parents. It's normal to breathe. It's how humans are meant to be. Everyone take a few big, deep breaths. That's normal. It feels good to eat treats. It feels good to your body. It feels good to open up presents on Christmas. It feels good to laugh with your family and your friends. These are all normal things. So it's very normal for children to obey their parents. It's the way it's supposed to be. So your job as a child, one of your most important jobs is to be a good listener, and to trust your parents, and to follow their lead and how they want to raise you. And so that is the second thing that every kid needs to know. Jordan, what's the third thing?
Okay, so I want you guys to pretend you're just getting home from school, right? You just got off the bus, or your parents just picked you up. Maybe you have soccer practice, maybe you don't. Maybe you go home. Maybe you don't even have any homework. You just got some free time. What do you typically do? Right? Now, if there's no rules in the house, you're probably going to pick up a screen. You're going to go play video games. You're going to grab a phone, check the iPad. Maybe you turn on the TV, put on YouTube. I don't know what it is, but I would say the majority of kids are not picking up a book. They're not probably rushing to do their homework. They're just going to go and, it's been a long day. I need to check out. Let me grab a screen. But number 3 here is you've got to do your best to limit how often you're doing that, right? You need to be patient with screens. All right, you're going to have so much time on these dang things as you get older, but the problem is it is so bad for you as a young adult, as our brains are still forming, to have this thing entertain us all the time. I was just talking to a buddy of mine. We were out exploring the outdoors last week, and I was like, it's amazing how much our society is coming to the point of entertain me, entertain me, entertain me. If I sit for 5 minutes, I'm bored, right? Why is nothing entertaining me? And these screens are they're literally just puking information at us so we can sit passively for an hour, 2 hours. Before you know it, you look at the clock, it's been 5 hours. So what I want you to do, this is going to be hard, but this is going to give you a step up on every other kid out there. I want you to set your own screen time goal, if you can. If you can say, I am only going to be on the screen an hour a day.
Yes.
I'm only going to be on the screen 2 hours a week. If you could set your own goal and keep yourself to it, you're gonna have a leg up on every other kid out there. You're gonna be more social. You're gonna have more friends. You're gonna understand people dynamics so much better than this thing spewing information down your throat.
If you're with your parents right now, listen to this. Answer this question. What would a kid be like who's your age and they just had like unlimited screen time and they were watching screens all the time? R-rated movies, violence, inappropriate scenes, bad commercials, listen to bad music, watching really weird stuff on YouTube. And they never had a parent limiting them. And they never had a parent telling them, hey, son, daughter, this is not good.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't act this stuff out. Tell your parents now, what would that child or teenager be like if they didn't have a parent protecting them, guiding them, teaching them about things?
Every kid probably knows about that kid right now. They know who that is. There's a kid like that in their school. There's multiple kids like that in their school.
Oh, my gosh.
Maybe the kids are in detention. Maybe the kids got in trouble. Maybe the kids are just fine. You're like, well, they seem fine. Nothing's wrong with them. They're on the phone all the time. And they know so many things. Like, the problem is our brains are still forming until like we're in our early 20s. It takes a while. And so if you keep creating this dopamine rush of flashing lights and videos, it's not going to be good for you to just calm down. Sean, practice a breathing exercise with us. Did you get bored by just taking a breath? If you said yes to that, that's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
That's a huge problem.
That's a huge problem. Well, yeah, that is a problem. That's not normal.
I try to show my kids these things in nature, and it's so fascinating. And I was talking to some adults, and like, man, if you're bored by nature, something's wrong with you. And I'm like, it's hard to get kids to appreciate. This is silly. We were talking about the migration of butterflies. This little butterfly can fly like thousands of miles with the currents and go all the way to Mexico and come all the. It's amazing to me. But it's little things like that that make life worth living for. Like, why are we here if we're not going to go out and pursue life? If we're just waiting for life to pursue us, why are we even here?
Jordan, answer this question for me. If there was a child and they grew up in a home with a ton of junk food, they grew up in Willy Wonka's factory, unlimited. They got a river of chocolate, chips, sodas, ice cream, candies,
the best,
pretzels, and they never had a parent teaching them about food or making them eat healthy foods. They just were never taught that.
Right.
What would that child be like by the time they're like 16? What would their body be like? Would they be healthy?
Well,
how would they be acting?
We'd have to see how many teeth they have left, because there's going to be a lot of sugar in there, a lot of cavities.
Oh, my gosh, the cavities.
Gosh, so many cavities. They're probably not going to be looking at themselves in the mirror as a young adult saying, I look so good, I look so fit. Even though your metabolism's good right now, it's not forever, kids.
They might be ashamed of their body. They might be really overweight, and they hate their body.
Ashamed. Yeah. They don't have any discipline as to, like, I need to go do something for myself that's healthy. They might not know what healthy is. Right?
They may have a hard time finding hobbies because their body is so, like, broken down by age 16. And they can't do things other kids could do.
Right. They might not know a potato chip is bad because it has potatoes in it. And a potato chip should be good for you.
Next question.
Right?
What happens if a kid grew up in a home with some really, really, really bad parents who did drugs, and they saw their parents doing drugs, and then they started doing drugs at a young age? What would they be like at age 16 if they've been doing drugs for a long time? And they're 16 now.
They may not be going to school anymore. They may not have a bright future. They probably aren't going to get to college. It'd be hard for them to find a job. They might not even have their driver's license. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
They might be in juvenile hall, juvie, jail for
could.
kids.
They could. That's not necessarily wrong.
Can I say something that's a little intense, a little extreme, but kind of true?
Sure.
So these screens, everybody, these Nintendo Switches, your Xboxes, your iPads, your iPhones, your PlayStations, these screens are producing drugs in our minds. And the reason why it feels so good to be on a screen is because little drugs in our minds are kind of going off.
Yeah.
So just like we have to be careful with candy and sweets, just like we have to be careful to not do drugs, we have to be careful to limit your screens. And you got to think that these screens in our life, they are like candy. They're like little treats. They're not what you should be doing all the time. Like
Right.
they should be like a special little treat. You have a little bit here and then
Right.
you get off and a little bit there.
That's right.
Isn't that, I think that's a good way of thinking about screens. You've got to realize it's not good for you to have treats and candies every day. That's not good for you.
And we know it's literally, you guys are being tempted. So it's not like we're putting all the pressure on you. Schools nowadays, you have to have the computer or whatever, the laptop to work on your project. We get that. But we're just trying to say you shouldn't be using it negatively. If you're writing a paper, that's fine. If you're doing research, that's all good. But if you're using it as like a comfort tool to entertain yourself all the time, that's when it becomes a problem.
A parent's job is to help you understand screens, limit your screens, and protect you from yourself. Because we know you could really screw up your life and hurt yourself by doing too many screens at this young age.
Yeah.
So have hope. As you get older, you're going to get more screens if you make good decisions. And then one day soon, when you're like senior in high school, you're going to be unlimited from screens. And you have no more limits on your screens for the
Right.
rest of your life. So while you're a kid, you need to accept that a good parents, they limit screen time. That's what good parents do. And bad parents, they don't limit their kids' screen time. They have unlimited time on their Google Chromebooks or on these computers. So this is what good parents do. So these are the third thing you need to know. You ready to do the fourth?
Yeah, that's you.
All right. Number 4, something you need to know. You need to learn how to do hard things. Do hard things. Say out loud to your friends or to yourself some hard things you're doing right now. Just say it out loud to your friends or family that are listening.
Nowadays, it could be just like talking to someone, telling someone how you feel, right? Everything's online these days with texting. It's so much easier to stay behind the keyboard. Maybe a hard thing is going face to face, saying someone wronged you, saying you're upset at the way they made you feel. That could be extremely hard, but it could be very important for you to do. Confrontation.
Yeah, let's talk about a list of hard things that kids need to do, like limiting screens. What else? Let's make a big list. Eating their vegetables, eating their fruits, not whining or complaining when they don't get what they want. That's hard.
Sticking with something. Don't give up just because you can't figure it out in the first couple of minutes or the first day. Sometimes learning a language, learning the Rubik's Cube, it takes a long time. Learning a talent, being a musician, playing music, that can be hard, but you have to stick with it.
Being nice to your siblings when you don't want to feel nice.
No, I can't do that.
When they're messing with you.
When
you feel like calling them a name or yelling at them, touching them. Do hard things. Be nice even though you don't feel like being nice. How about doing your chores?
Yeah.
Doing what you're supposed to do. These are hard things that are
going
good
to
for
your
you.
job. If you're an older kid, going to your job. I know it's a Friday night. There's a party, but did you already commit to working? Go to work, right? Staying committed.
Being nice to your grandparents, treating them with respect and honor. And even though as you get older, it may be harder to play with them or spend time with them, doing hard things, honoring your grandparents.
Or how about topic number 2? Obey your parents.
Yeah.
That's always hard.
Here's a couple
Brushing
true
your
stories.
teeth if you're Sean. Brushing your teeth.
Here, just yesterday, I saw my kids do hard things. We were in the airport coming home from Kauai,
Yeah.
And my teenage daughter, she's 16, she said she ordered a chicken sandwich from the airport. $26 chicken sandwich, man.
No way.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Kauai. No, it was a layover in
My
Maui.
gosh.
$26 for a
Oh
chicken
my
sandwich.
would
Why?
You're going to starve.
Oh my gosh. And guess what? She takes 2 bites. And she's
No.
like, this is gross.
I'm sure it was gross.
It was gross.
You're going to eat
It's
that
like,
$26.
Dad, the I know you're gonna, Dad, the bun is so soggy, the meat is like kind of undercooked. I was
sure.
like, oh, okay, what do you, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, just eat it, girl, it's $26, you know?
Yeah,
But she
yeah.
was like, I want to go return it. I was like, that's a great idea. She's like, can you go return it for me? I say, no, but I can go with you and you can talk to the lady yourself. She's like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, God, you can do hard things. I'll help you. And she did it. We walked right up to the counter and she asked for a refund. The person had to go get their manager. So Miley had to again talk to the manager herself and we got our money back.
That's amazing. Good
$26
job.
back.
That's so great. That's so
And then I'm
good.
sitting next to my 9-year-old, and she's sitting next to her friend who's 8 and her other friend who's 9. And I said, hey, they're about to come and ask us for our drink orders.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what you want? Do you guys want to get some guava juice? You get some apple juice? You get your orders ready? I need you guys to order on your own. You guys are going to order by yourself. Okay, I'm not going to order for you.
Yep.
And they said, yep. And they all ordered by themselves. Easy
Nice.
peasy. For some kids, that's a hard thing.
It is hard because you're talking to someone like an adult. You have to be vocal, and that's a hard thing to do these days. I love it when my kids impress me on things that they do. My daughter just came up and said, hey, Dad, I want to start volunteering. I said, what?
Incredible.
That is so cool. Like,
Wow.
I would have not thought a 10 or 11-year-old would have been thinking about that. I was like, that is
Wonderful.
awesome. And
That
that
is-
can be a hard thing.
Doing hard things might mean, signing up for another season of sports or sticking through it. It might be being nice to the mean kid. It might mean sitting with the one kid who's
That's exactly right.
sitting all by themselves. It might mean like trying to make a new friend, introducing yourself, or asking a friend to come over. It might be including a new friend into your friend group, playing with a friend you don't normally play with, all types of things. It might mean
Anything that you feel you don't want to do, maybe you should do it. Not everything, but when it comes to these hard things that Sean's talking about. No one wants to do a lot of this stuff, but you do it because, like, being nice to someone, going to play with someone that Sean, like, no one wants to, but you do that to
Yeah.
be a good person.
saving money,
Yeah.
going to church, writing somebody a nice thank you note. These are all really good things. All right, so do hard things.
Okay,
Do hard
good.
things.
Love it.
All right.
Number
We're down
5.
for our number 5.
Okay, this is it, and then we're done. Here we go. This is hard because we've already talked about this, right? We want you to love yourself. Yeah. All right? You're like, well, yeah, I'm pretty awesome. I get it. But do you love yourself? Do you like the way you do things? Do you like your body? Do you like your personality? Do you feel like you have to be funny just to be liked? Or are you like, no, I'm pretty funny, so I want to be funny, right? How are you to your integrity, your character? Are you one to pick up the trash when no one's looking to throw it away? Or are you like, no, I'm going to leave the trash because no one's looking and it's going to be fine? Or, oh, Joe's looking at me, so I should pick up the trash so Joe thinks I'm cool. That's what we mean when it comes to integrity, your character. Who are you? What do you believe in? What is right? What is wrong? Are you going to stand up for the kid that's getting picked on by the cool kid who you want to be liked by, but he's doing something that you don't agree with? Are you going to go be like, yo, dude, that's not cool? So and this is hard. I don't even know what age this comes to be. I don't even really remember when I found this in myself. It just comes with time. But you always ask yourself in these moments, what should I do? I just kind of want to be liked, so I'm going to brush it off. I'm going to laugh with the crowd that's making fun of the foreign student, right? Just because everyone's laughing, just to be cool. But what we're saying is do the opposite.
Yeah.
right? Stand up for what you believe in.
It's good.
And if we think of a character, we were talking about, if there's a movie or something of a kid who does this. Sean's talked about this movie before called Wonder, right? This boy who has a deformity, he wants to go to school, and he was so neglected by everybody, even adults. But he had this belief in himself. He's like, this is just who I am, and I love being who I am.
Yeah.
And then what happened is everybody started to love him too because he was so comfortable in his own skin.
I just haven't. A couple images pop in my head. The first one is this. I want you to imagine yourself looking at yourself in the mirror. Maybe you'll do it later today. Maybe you'll do it tomorrow morning, after a shower. When you look at yourself in the mirror, I want you to say nice things to yourself. Okay, I love myself.
Okay.
I'm lovable. I like my personality. I don't have to act out. I don't have to prove myself. I'm a person worth loving, and I'm lovable. And I want to be a person who shows love to the world, kindness to the world. That's a good thing. That's a good life skill. Don't you agree?
It's a great life skill. There was a conversation the other day that I was watching, and this father and his daughter were on a trip, and the boyfriend was there. And the father didn't understand why his daughter liked this boy. This boy was kind of he wasn't all there. He wasn't nice and loving, but his daughter saw something in the boy that the father didn't. And there was this moment where the father and the boy were talking, and he says, hey, thank you for doing that for my daughter. I saw what you did. That was very courageous of you.
Yeah.
I can see now what my daughter sees in you. And the boy looked at the dad and said, I don't know why. I'm just a reject. I'm just a fill in the blank. He didn't believe in himself.
He didn't believe him. He didn't love himself.
He did not believe. He did not love himself. And the father looked at him and said, listen, you do not need to talk bad about yourself. The world will do that for you. You need to speak kindness to yourself because the world is going to throw you down. So do what Sean's saying. Look in the mirror. Say, I'm loved. I'm awesome. I'm great. No matter what these other kids think, because I think psychologically it's going to help you so much.
When you love yourself, and it can be hard loving yourself, but here's some things you do and some things you don't do. You don't call yourself names. You don't say, I'm so dumb.
Right.
I'm stupid. You don't call yourself ugly. You don't say, I hate my personality. I wish I was different. I'm a loser. That's not loving yourself. So what kids are doing is you're learning about a lot of things. And it's hard to learn things. It's hard to do these 5 things we're telling you to do. And one of the most important things of these 5 is to learning how to talk to yourself and love yourself. And by saying kind things to yourself, like, you know what? I know that there's some people out there that are going to love me and like my personality. I don't need to change for anyone.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And
know
it's hard because you're forced into this school or this sporting event with all these others, and you want to be liked by everybody, but it can be very, very hard. And the more you try to be liked by everybody else, the reality is you're actually pushing more people away.
Well said. You'll realize as you get older into the teen years that you'll start comparing yourself to others, and you'll be like, oh, this person is better at this than me, or I'm not as good as this person. This is all normal. But the way you think about those things is that's okay. I'm better at some things than I am in others. I don't need to be the best. I don't need to be good at things. I am good enough, and I'm a kid. I'm a teenager. I'm growing up. I'm learning as I go, and I love who I am.
That's good. Yeah. It's hard to do, but that's a great tip. Out of these 5, that one is very powerful.
Should we do a little recap for everybody? I'll do.
Please do.
I'll do
Please
1
do.
and 2. You do 3 and 4. All right.
Okay.
Here's a little recap. Here are 5 things every kid needs to know. Kids, if you're listening to this, these are 5 things you've got to know. Number 1, you've got to learn how to calm yourself down. Self-soothe. Find yourself when you're stressed and you're angry, how to be there for yourself. Number 2, every kid needs to learn how to obey their parents. Not just obey the police, not just obey teachers and principals, but your parents. These are people of honor. You want to treat your parents better than you do your teachers. These are your parents. Obey them and honor them.
Number 3, you got to limit your screen time. I know your parents are trying to do that for you, but you have to be the master of your own time clock, right? You got to be patient with these screens. They can be very bad for you, especially in the long run. I know it's nice in the moment, but you can't eat ice cream every single day without it affecting your body in some way, right? So we can't put this toxic stuff in our mind every single day. So do yourself a favor, set a goal, and try to set to that goal every day or every week about how much screen time you think you should have. Number 4, how to handle discomfort and do hard things. We need you to do hard things. All of us have to do hard things. We don't want to do them. They're not fun, but they're good for you. You got to do that homework. You got to do the chores your parents said to do. Parents told you to go say I'm sorry to someone. It's going to be hard, but go and do it.
Number 5, you've got to learn how to love yourself, love your body, love your personality, love your skin, love your eyes, love your hands, love who you are, and be a person of love. And don't let anyone hold you back or stop you from being a person of love and integrity.
Nice.
Thank you, kids, for joining us on the kids episode. Thank you, Lindsay, for this great idea. Thank you for parents who are loving and leading, and thank you for kids. Thank you for being our kids and letting us teach you, letting us protect you, letting us guide you. And thanks for just being wonderful. Much love, everyone.